You're listening to Parasearch Radio, news, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio. Parasearch Radio, broadcasting to the UK and beyond.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to Kerry Greenaway and Mark Manley on the Dark Mirror Paranormal Show, only on Parasearch Radio.
Good evening and welcome to the Dark Mirror Show. On a Friday, it is your fun and frolic show, and my name is Kerry Greenaway. I am also joined in the studio, as every Friday, with my lovely Mark Manley. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Kerry, please put your clothes back on. It's we're live on air now, okay?
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's not you. It's Carl. Carl, put the movies away.
Mr. Carl Hutchinson is in the house as well.
Good evening, everybody, and how is everybody this evening?
We're all good, and we are also joined at this moment in time by the lovely Liam just Liam from Afterlife Solutions. He is live at Derby Jail. I know. He is live at Derby Jail. Hi, Liam. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me on. Great show. And we've got here live at Derby Jail with plenty of guests. We've got 20 guests. So we're kind of packed out tonight.
You certainly are, aren't you? I've not been to Derby Jail. Is it massive? Is it a massive location?
So the location consists of two areas. It's the area I'm actually walking around now. It's got a couple of cells in it and things like that. So this area is not massive. But then about roughly 8 minutes walk away, there is a huge castle tower where they used to do public hangings. And also they have got a tower in there as well, which is very, very active, and a massive courtyard.
So you are a working medium. Are you picking up anything whilst you're walking around?
Yes, I've actually picked up on a gentleman here already. He's willing to communicate. He's actually been giving me knocks and taps and bangs before I...
Liam, can I just ask one question? Oh, he seems to have been stucky like.
Oh, he's walking around. That's the problem.
Derby. I must admit, I've been to Derby Jail a couple of times, and it is an amazing location. Very, very small, very, very intimate. And the best thing about Derby Jail, I'm hoping Liam can confirm this, is you have the amazing, possibly two of the most amazing people that will be there at all times, and that is Mr. Richard Felix. And also, yeah, because obviously it's very, very small, very, very small.
So, Liam, is Richard with you tonight? Liam, you're on mute.
We can see that we can see what he's looking at.
We can see you, but we can't hear you.
Which is
here
great.
we go. You took yourself on mute.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry, guys. My phone's playing up.
It's a spirited evening. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is, guys, exactly. So Richard unfortunately can't join us tonight, but I have actually been speaking to him throughout the week with various conversations, and he sent one of his trusty psychics tonight. So he's kind of just gone off with the other group, with a group of people. The rest of the team have gone with him. I'm actually on my own in this jail right now. It's interesting, it's eerie, and there are a few communications going on right now. They're trying to trying to communicate with me right now, but I'm trying to block that out because I'm live on air.
Liam, you're showing ourselves some amazing, because Derby Jail is truly an amazing location. And
there's a mannequin inside here.
Oh, mannequins are always freaky on investigations, aren't they?
So it's quite an eerie place. I think it's a very dark place myself. There are some children spirits here, things like that I'm picking up on, but it's mainly there is a dark entity around here, unfortunately.
So Liam, tell us about your team and tell us about your event this evening. What have you got? How many guests have you got, and everything about and where people can find you? Because obviously, as it's the Dark Mirror show, we want to do the first little bit of the show to explain, give teams that don't get the exposure. So, where are you? Who are you? And where can everybody find you?
So, as you know, we're at Derby Jail tonight. Everybody can find us on Facebook. We are literally everywhere on Facebook. We post in all the paranormal groups. We have our own page called Afterlife Solutions. Tonight we're here, like I say, with 20 guests. The plan is to do some work with these guests, because all our events are literally public events, and we work with the public to try and enhance them, to try and give them an experience, and try and get them to go home with something. So we don't like force it on people, though. If they don't believe, that's fair enough. That's absolutely fine. We're not here to make them believe. We're just here to support them and their needs to actually, try and gain an experience if they can.
What sort of experiments are you going to be doing tonight with your guests?
So we'll be doing the table tipping. Which is a very, very good experiment. A lot of people like it, some people don't. There are Ouija boards available to guests. We will be doing human pendulums. That's what they're actually doing right now, while I'm here. They've actually gone up to do a human pendulum. And we offer, obviously, calling out sessions, equipment sessions. But we've also done a recent experiment, which had interesting results, which you had on the show on Monday, because we did an experiment at Codner Farmhouse with the phones.
Yes, we spoke about that with Paul, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we're trying that experiment tonight as well, just to see how that goes. We're going to leave a phone in a room. We're going to leave it and then ring it from a different phone, and then see what communication we can get.
Fantastic. I love the fact that the experiment is starting to grow legs and garner interest in the field. It's very, very interesting. We are listening to what had happened at Codner with that one, so it'll be interesting to hear if anybody else uses this experiment and what kind of results they get from that. And from that, we may be able to either offer an explanation as to why we get that, or it might just create a little bit more interest as to we can't explain it. Who knows, right?
Absolutely. And one of the things I just want to let the listeners know, Derby Jail, completely and utterly an amazing location. Been there several times and had the experiences being given a private tour by the amazing Richard Felix. And it's an amazing location. But it's got so much history, and some of the stuff in there that is splattered around the location has like personal effects and stuff like that, and it's amazing. It is truly amazing.
Definitely, I 100% agree. I'm actually, like I say, I'm in it right now, and this place has got a lot to offer for a paranormal investigator.
It's a very, very small location, isn't it?
It is a small location, but you do have the two locations. So when you book Derby Jail, you actually get the second sort of area around it's about an 8-minute walk from the actual jail itself. But it's like it looks like an old castle from the outside. But they used to literally open it up and do public hangings there. So like, thousands of people would turn out from their homes just to see someone get hung.
I wish they'd still do that.
I can't see it, but I just want to.
Yeah, but to be fair, they do that on your videos there, Kerry. Oh no,
walking around the location. Sorry, guys. I'm just giving the listeners a little bit of info that obviously we're talking and everything like that. But Liam is actually currently walking around the location, giving us an unprecedented view of the location that has no guests, etc., and showing the amazing location. So we've got cell blocks. We're going outside now. That's a good torch, Liam, as well, by the way.
Oh yeah, I have a proper torch. Not one of these little rubbish things. There's a nice guillotine here as well.
Nice.
I could you put a few people in that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there, Kerry. Look, we've got like a hanging area just around here. We've got the steps that walk up to it. It's all been used apparently. It used to be all working at one point, so they say. So it's fantastic. I mean, the building looks massive from the outside. Like, if I show you the building from the outside, it looks huge.
Ooh, it does.
But when you actually go into it, it is literally one floor. You can't get up to the rest of the floors.
Oh, that's a shame.
So,
is there a reason for that?
I think it's hired out by different companies and things like that. So,
boo, hiss, we want more.
Yeah, definitely. So it's actually quite a nice meeting as well. We are going to do some outside experiments as well as inside. So we are looking to, get that done obviously before the rain sets in, and then
it's on its way to you. It's on its way to you. Right, I'm near Hull, and it's already nicely damp over here.
Okay, well you can keep it.
I must admit, we had just literally about an hour before the show started. I was slightly worried because my windows that I have looking out on my back garden, they were lighting up like it was Christmas or it was fireworks. There was a major big thunderstorm coming through that, but it's sort of gone and left. So I'm hoping it's going up the country to be honest.
On that note, we need to leave Liam to his guests at the Derby Jail with Afterlife Solutions so he can get on with his evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for a quick tour of Derby Jail. You're going to be joining me on Tuesday evening on the Paranormal Concept Show, aren't you, Liam?
I am indeed. I'm so excited for it. I'm really excited.
And we're going to be talking all about how we can balance a sceptical perspective with our spiritual belief system. That's what we're going to be talking about on Tuesday. So on that note, thank you so much, Liam, and we will talk to you on Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate, obviously, getting my name out there as well, because that's big for us, because we are trying to provide this experience for people, and we want people to know exactly who we are and what we do.
No worries.
You need the alien guide down there as well. I'm going to come down there at some point, hopefully, and have a tour, so you need the alien guide down there as well. Me and my big gob, I'll certainly put the word out for you.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate all the opportunities that you've given us, because you've given us quite a few opportunities over the last few weeks, because I did an interview a few weeks back.
Don't be daft.
For you as well. So I'm really appreciate everything that you're doing for us.
You're more than welcome.
No worries at all, Liam. So thank you so much. Right, guys. So that is pretty amazing, isn't it? Old Derby Jail. It's been on my bucket list for a little while.
It's somewhere I intend to go, and being as I live up here now, it's a lot closer for me to go to now. So I shall, at some point, do an investigation and see what happens. There has been paranormal activity in our local very old pub, the oldest one in Howden here, and there's been video evidence caught of a woman walking across the bar and disappearing through a wall, and the two patrons and decorators who were in there at the time, this is on CCTV, absolutely and then ran off. So, yeah. As soon as I get that video footage sent to me, I will send it to you to peruse.
Oh, fantastic. We do love a bit of video footage that we can get our grubby little mitts on, that we can have a look at. Right, it is a very, very exciting night tonight. My lovely Cole Hutchinson is like a little bit excited.
Uh-huh. And I'm going to be excited for a little bit longer. So
we're going to carry on. We'll carry on, and then we will come back to that in a little bit. Now, strange occurrences occurred on Canvey Island last night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, you didn't have a bath, did you?
Guys, no, you were going to love.
I was going to say, was the bonfire very bright, or they were making?
Let me guess, somebody
the local
to booby.
Get off.
Well.
You've seen Canvey Island, mate. The locals get off all the time.
Oh, no. I've been on Canvey. I've driven on Canvey. One road on, one road off.
Well, about 3:30 this morning, a lot of people on Canvey Island got woken up by what people thought was thunder, but it wasn't thunder. It was an aircraft, a jet aircraft. It was incredibly low across the island. Now, people have been asking out and about, saying, what was it? Why was there a jet going across? We have an airport, Southend Airport, that's not very far. We are in they go over us quite regular. But this was a jet. It was very, very low. I woke up thinking, what the was that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It was
obviously, you know your house, the normal sounds. And when something happens, you realise. Sorry, I'm in mission.
Normally her boss.
I'm in mission control here at Kent Paranormal Control and Parasearch Radio and Parasearch Radio. So there's things bleeping and giving me messages, so I might get slightly distracted. So I do apologise. But no, us in Kent, we also experienced that because there was a load of social media activity about the same thing that you've experienced, Kerry.
So one would ask, why would a jet, and it was definitely a jet, it was definitely terrestrial, I'm not saying this is a UFO thing, but I was wondering, why would a jet be flying that low? And it was really low. It wasn't, I know a police helicopter, I know the helicopter sounds, I know all that. It wasn't that at all. It was really low. Why would, at 3:30 in the morning, a jet be flying that low over houses and stuff when they can fly really high and not actually be a problem?
It might have been a night exercise.
But
it might have been a test.
No. Being on social media and looking at things that's happening and on particularly on Kent's social page. Everybody experienced exactly the same what Kerry experienced, but slightly afterwards. And there was a couple of people that posted that have this free app that you can get for your laptop or your iPhone called Flight Tracker.
Yeah.
And they were tracking this plane that was coming over that happened to be in the same area at the same time these noises would happen. And if anybody ever goes on, and it's a free app, you can pay for the additional bits, but personally, I think it's a great app that you can get. But Flight Tracker, but these people were tracking this aircraft that didn't have a identify number. It would say there was a plane. It told everybody what plane it was, but it didn't tell the location or where it was going, where it took off from. And you have this on the app because you have so many private aircraft or vehicles or whatever you want to call them that fly over the UK at certain times of the day, daytime, afternoon, morning, whatever. But I've seen it because I've done it when I was tracking friends that were flying into London, and there was these aircrafts that were zigzagging across the airspace, which just have a call sign, but no other information.
Sounds military.
TR3B. Whoa.
Sounds military, right?
It could be military. It could be private. It could be this, that, and the other. I know like me and Mark, as we've always said, the conspiracy jar gets slightly twisted open when it comes to the things, because potentially, what are they doing? Is it a military aircraft? Is it this, that, and the other? But if you have a call sign, but you don't have a takeoff and a landing location, as the app will tell you. And this app and people on social media last night were tracking this plane that flew over, that flew between the channel between Essex and Kent, and then went up the country. So potentially, I personally think it was probably not paranormal, but I would say it's probably military. One of the military aircraft, potentially a drone or whatever you want to call it, whatever. Not saying it was a drone, I'm just saying potentially it could be a drone that could have been flying through airspace. At low level, because that's the key, because everything on our social media in Kent was about a low-level aircraft.
Same on Canvey. That's exactly what they were saying. What were they doing flying so low? It sounded like, one person said it sounded like they were actually going to land. It was that low. But we will never know, I suppose. It was just a little curiosity thing that happened in this area and obviously in Carl's area. Now, Mark has moved recently. You moved, didn't you? Changing
yes, I have.
Subject.
Yes.
He has a lovely new wall behind him.
He does.
It's a feature wall as well. Can you see it? Hang on.
It's very marbly. Effect.
No, look at the trees. Look at the trees.
The sparkle bounce off Mr. Mark's head.
All right. It looks like a marble sparkle. And
it bounces off his head.
It is, but it's a tree. We spent the last week decorating the new place, putting feature walls in, and then moving. And I've literally stopped putting curtain poles up to do the radio show. We've done all the decorating. I have laid all the carpets. We have moved in. We are officially here now.
Is it
the motorbike is
where
here.
You were before, Mark?
No. It's literally 3-4 minute walk from where we used to live, but it's about 3 times the size of the place I used to live in.
I was just saying, looking at your background, it looks a lot bigger. I don't know whether that's your lounge or your bedroom.
This is mine and Lindsay's bedroom.
Wow.
It's a 3-bedroom house and not a 2-bedroom cottage like we were in.
Did you do any investigating of it before you moved in?
Yes, we have been up here, and I take it you've picked up on something.
No, we talked about it last week because there's a thing trending in America that people are getting places that they're interested in investigated before they move in to see if it's haunted, because apparently that affects house price sales, real estate sales in America.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and that doesn't surprise me. But yes, there is something here, and as you know, I don't have that gift. I can only sense. I can't see or hear. But Lynn's, because you would personally trained Lynn's a bit yourself, and she's picked up on something. Taylor's picked up on something, and even Becky's picked up on something. But it's all totally benign, and it's actually 2 of them is a lovely old couple. Don't know if they died here, don't know if they used to live here, but it's a lovely old couple, and my granddaughter loves them and giggles and everything. And there's also, I don't know if it's our cat that got run over, but there's a cat here as well who likes to jump on our bed.
Oh, that's so cute.
We will have, and I would give you a tour of the new house and let you see if you can pick up anything. But there's nothing benign here. It's all benevolent. Is that the word? Yeah,
there's nothing malevolent there. Yeah. It's all benign.
We also have the resident cat. We have the resident cat there. You see.
Aww. So, would you do a Ouija board in your new house?
Would I flip?
Why? Because it's only a communication tool.
No, I know, but whenever I've done that stuff, as you know, my late son has come through and my father's come through, and that sort of thing is okay for investigations and other places, but not my residence.
Okay. Would you say it's a bit like me personally? It's when I walk through my front door, it's my space.
Exactly that. This is my house. This is mine and Lindsay's house, and the girl's house and my granddaughter, and I don't want to disturb the equilibrium and invite anything in untoward that could upset my granddaughter or my kids, or
That's
pretty much what Carl was saying last week. It was like it's his, like when he walks through his door, that's not a paranormal place, even though he gets stuff happen. It's his castle, it's his area. He doesn't want to be have that in his house. Whereas I do a lot of that kind of work, as you guys know, in my crystal room. And I do a lot of very private work. I don't put it out on socials. I just get on with it and get on with what I do. My witchy side, I suppose people would call it. I do that in my house, and I don't actually have a problem with it. But then I have huge amount of protection around my house, and so I know how to open and close and stuff like that properly. So for me, it doesn't faze me. But each to their own. Talking of Ouija boards, something trended this week on the socials. And links in to the PSH radio show that was done last night with the amazing Karen A. Dahlman.
I love that lady. I absolutely love that lady to bits. Karen was amazing. But yes, go on, Kerry. Sorry.
I know. I'm not going to spoil your thunder.
I jumped in without actually.
Go for it.
Wanted to say I love that lady. So,
it was an amazing show. She talked a lot about talking boards, spirit boards, Ouija boards, whatever you want to class it as last night on that show. Absolute font of information. If you're going to Sage Paracon, you've got a treat in store working with Karen A. Dahlman. But this was trending on the socials, was the world's largest Ouija board. Now, the planchette had 4 people in it, in the hole in the middle bit. 4 people, but there was room for more. What do we make of that? Is it just a gimmick? Would it actually be useful? What do we make of that, guys? Because for me...
Mark, what's your views on it? And then I'll give you views on it.
I think it's a good gimmick, but actually trying to use it properly. How many people would you need around that planchette just to go, come here, Miss Sydney? I'll move it to wherever the toffee crisp wrapper is.
Well,
it's just huge.
Yeah, okay.
It is massive, I have to say. I was thinking...
Thank you. That's only because the camera's on, Kerry. What are you talking about now?
It was absolutely huge. I was thinking, though, that it kind of had to be a gimmick, because how would you communicate with spirit through something that size? Because you'd be running around the board because it was that big. Do you know what I mean? And we took, with just a fingertip on it, we sort of get a bit funny about people pushing the planchette and stuff like that. So if people are running around on this board with the planchette, but what a great advertising tool, effectively, right?
Me personally, I think it could be used as a working board, because the places they're choosing the location, because obviously it takes a little while to put this amazing board together. And they chose an amazing location, the Salem Column, which is where I was in April, at the back of the hotels. This place, which I walked across and had many enjoyable strolls while I was clearing my head. But no,
you know what? I was going to say the awesome name of the bloke who created it.
Oh, the guy's name. This is the thing about the Americans, the lovely Americans, is these guys have amazing names. You come over to the UK and you get Stan, Fred.
All right, mate. All right, Stanley.
But when you're in the US, this guy's got a doozer of a name.
Donkey's looking for a smacked bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you remember it?
His name, ladies and gentlemen, is Rick, nicknamed Or Mortis, and get this, Shrek. Yes, Shrek. Big green, trumpets for ears, farts a lot, Shrek. That is his surname.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
Yeah. And he's got a big beard and whatever. And the people that put the board together, and it took them like 3 days to put this board together in Salem. So it wasn't
it weighs
just like
9,000 pounds.
And it was out there and it was there. It took them 3 days to put this board together. But as on the show last night, as me and Karen were discussing about the show, the board can be used. Because
but do you know how heavy the planchette is?
Yeah, but forget about how heavy it is. It's been designed as a representative of one of the most famous talking boards. Mm-hmm. It can be used as that. The planchette is made at the same specifications as the planchette you get in the board or the case or whatever you want to call it, the smaller version. So technically, yes, you can. And if you're in a location that has got that much energy about the whole of the paranormal, the witches and everything like that, Salem, you're bringing a lot of energy into that board. So I personally think, I don't know how it would work, because I don't know whether you need like 500 people putting their hands on the planchette, see if it moves.
I was thinking about this. Right. Obviously, it's going to be impossible to do the planchette thing. Right?
I mean, I'm a strong guy, but flipping heck, we'd need Carl on there pushing as well.
So, what about you take the planchette out of it? You could put like a ball, like a football or something like that on the board. Have people surround it and have their fingers or their hands just resting on the board, and see if that is a connection. So the hopefully the spirit would move the ball.
As Karen said last night, the planchette or the device that you get to indicate what the spirit or the energy is trying to discuss does not have to be the typical planchette or the typical marker that you get on these devices. Karen does a great talk about it, and she did it last year at Sage Paracon, where you can use a CD case. So it doesn't have
to put a link in the chat room.
Yeah, it's the energy or the stuff that you are putting into it. So I believe, and talking to Karen, talking to Robert Murch, and talking to some of the other guys that are on the Talking Board Society, which you guys need to go over and have a look at. Go on their website, because it's an amazing. Because obviously, as we keep saying Ouija, and as we said last night, it's a brand. It's like me saying Hoover when it's a vacuum cleaner, etc., etc. So Ouija's a brand, and as we were discussing last night on the show, Ouija is a brand name which came up when the brand or the compliance officer came out and said, "Okay, what's the board called?" And they went off and went, hang on a second, and they went on the board, and it came up the name Ouija. So they then patented the name Ouija, because that's what the board told them to say it was, which fascinates me.
That's not bad. I like that.
And
totally.
what the Talking Board Society have done, like putting gravestones at people that haven't been able to have gravestones put on, and raising money, they do an amazing job. But this tool that they have now, which is going to tour hopefully around the USA on paranormal conventions, and hopefully at some point, you never know, could venture overseas or whatever. But it's amazing. This thing is huge. You go on. It
can fit 5 18-wheeled. In America, they're called they're big rigs, and over here they're called articulated lorries. But you can fit 5 with trailers on this thing. It's that big.
Oh, it's huge.
The board itself is 9,000 pounds in weight.
And Paul, as Paul was just saying, Mark was just saying, it's huge, but it has got the record, and it was officially announced last night that through Ripley's World of Amazing blah 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 has got the official record.
Ripley's Believe It or blah 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know whether the book's called Ripley's Believe It or not, or whatever the book is. Ripley's. Well, I don't know. I've only ever been to one Ripley's place, and that was in Orlando.
I'm there as the alien guy, and it's just like his voice is like melted chocolate, and he's just gorgeous. And it's in there on the Believe It or Not section, and most people say not. So there you go.
But wow. Go on social media, have a look at the photos, and follow it, because it's got the sponsors down the side. It's a proper Ouija board, designed in like the 1970s Ouija board. It's got everything characteristic of a proper 1970s Ouija board, down to the planchette, down to the design of the board, and it's amazing. So go over on social media, have a look, support the Talking Board Society, because they take whatever you donate or whatever you give, they don't profit from it. They literally take it and do amazing work from it.
They certainly do. Don't forget, I've shared the links into the chat room. Right, click on them so you don't lose the show if you want to go over there and have a little look. Now, old sceptical Mr. Paul Rook is in the chat room. He has said if a spirit moves a planchette that big, which we're saying it's not going to. Well, you're not listening, Mr. Rook, is all I'm saying.
Oh, he's just Mr. Come on.
I know, he came up with an alternative way of using the board. So, Mr. Rook, you can back right down.
Yeah, Paul.
Sucks to me. Now, I came across an interesting article, moving on this week. I love this one. Oh, God, I think it was back in the 70s. There was a film called The Blob. Do we remember that film, guys?
We do. Remake of a black and white one. Yeah.
Well, there is an actual organism.
And then it's crap now.
Wow, this might not be so crap as it is now because it is a real live organism. And if you read what I read earlier, I didn't read organism. I read orgasm. And the headline reads...
Some on the Black Mirror show. Oh, yeah, baby.
The headline reads, The Blob. Paris Zoo unveils unusual organism which can heal itself and has 720 sexes.
Yeah, but this thing is the thing that fascinates me about this article.
Can you have 720 sexes? Sorry, but humans have enough trouble just figuring out that there's actually only 2, and then you've got all these extra. You know what? I'm a toaster. Yeah, no, you're not. Bugger off. And now you've got this.
That's exactly what I was going to say, but in a less colourful way.
I know. Well, if you'd read the headline like I read it, which was Paris Zoo unveils unusual orgasm is what I read, which can heal itself and has 720 sexes. I was thinking, what the F? And read the article.
Interesting.
Now, it's actually a type of mould. It's officially known as Physarum polycephalum, or otherwise known as the many-headed slime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Can you not do a lascivious voice when you're saying that? Because no, you've just confused listeners. Many male listeners and some female listeners will go, "Oh, that voice is what the hell?" You said slime. That was it. No, you have just made shrinkage. You have just caused things to implode and molten. No, bad.
It's a unicellular and is believed to be around 1 billion years old. I have to say, I kind of read this and thought, this is a wind-up, right?
Sorry, I do apologise. Something just started playing on my phone weirdly.
Thought you'd written that South Park for a minute. I don't know.
Sorry, no. I'm like I said, I'm in mission control in Kent of Parasearch Radio / everything else I do, and things are playing, and I thought I'd. Sorry, so I do apologise. Go on, guys.
Oh, okay. All right, well, okay, it's apparently 1 billion years old and actually first came to the attention in 1973 where she found this rapidly expanding yellow blob in her backyard. Now, it's incredibly difficult to kill. It can survive in certain conditions and go into hibernation for 7 years and needs all sorts of things, but it's now in a zoo. They've actually put it in a zoo. This sounds a little creepy. This sounds a little bit creepy.
Yeah, and I would just also just like to say, Really TV, a couple of seconds ago, there was an advert. The future's orange, 27th of October, Sunday. That's all I'm going to say just for the moment.
Oh, little sneaky spoiler right there. But back to the blob. What do we make of the blob, guys?
Well, I mean, there's one way to talk about my in-laws. I mean, a little bit rude, yeah. I mean, fair enough, she's so fat she sweats gravy, but that's beside the point. Her car has stretch marks, but, you know, what... To be fair, on a totally different note, yeah, she is. She's so fat, her car has stretch marks. Anyway.
Face palming right now, everybody. I'm face palming.
And all I'm going is, wow. Anyway,
the permafrost that's been defrosting. there's lots and lots and lots of new spongiforms and molds and bacterium and this, that, and the other that's being uncovered. They've actually found, I think it's about 5 different strains of the plague that they've never even heard of. And they've checked it out down throughout the ages, and various places have had outbreaks of the plague and this, that, and the other, and it all stems from the permafrost. And they're finding more and more and more of these bacterians and harmful things to us, that because we've never seen it in our lifetime, we have no a cure for it at the moment, so they're trying to. And on top of that, they've also found an intact mammoth brain and various other things as well. Oh, and a Siberian husky puppy that is 3,500 years old. That's some of the latest things that's been going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still with its teeth and skin and hair and everything.
It is a fascinating planet that we live on, isn't it? Because, we're still finding species are being discovered that haven't been discovered before. Other species are going extinct. We're in a very transient state within planet Earth at this moment in time. And it never ceases to fascinate me how everything links together and how it all... works together as an organism within its own right.
As an organism?
Back to organisms.
Okay, cool. I just checking. Well, we're supposed to be right on the cusp of entering another ice age, aren't we? We're supposed to be entering another shallow ice age very, very soon. Plus, on top of that, you've got the apparent polar flips. So you put that all together, and basically, if you live down south, you're knackered. You're going to be living in igloos. If you're like us and live up north, just put your heavy coat on. You'll be fine.
Well, will we ever see the Thames freeze over again like we do in the iconic 1600 photos?
Skated on it. No, there's actual there's some woodcuts, and it froze over just after the birth of photography. Because if you look, there's some pictures of very early pictures, mind, of people actually skating on the Thames.
Well, we haven't had that for a few years.
Being somebody that lives local to the Thames, which if I go and hang out my bedroom window, I can see Canvey and I can see Southend burning in the beautiful moonlight. I can see the river. I can't see the Thames ever freezing over again unless we go into some sort of weird and wonderful ice age. So it's an amazing thing. Looking at the research saying the temperature is dropping and dropping and dropping, and this, that, and the other.
Sorry, just one thing.
Not in my life will anybody be figure skating on the Thames.
Just to clarify, we're not saying the photos are from the 1600s, but there are pictures of the 1600s, like portraits, like paintings of people having markets and skating on the Thames. What market?
And I was talking about the birth of photography.
Are they not? They're not bloody listening tonight, clearly.
No, they're not.
I am listening.
He's busy swiping left and right.
And I would just like to say, 13 Nights of Fright, really TV.
Another little sneaky spoiler for you guys. So, that is Blob. Right, Mr. Hutchinson, what else is trending in the world? And I do believe we have another top 10. I kind of want to do a jingle here.
It was so well. I must admit, last week when we did the top 10, it was kind
I'm sorry, I know nothing about this. I was away moving house, so I had no internet.
Well, he doesn't realise that you can listen back to any show that you may miss, because if you go over to our YouTube channel, we have got Parasearch Radio over there, and all you have to do is click like, share and subscribe. And there you go, Carl. Off you go.
Yeah, but no, it was sort of just off the cuff. Last week we were talking about Weird and Wonderful, and we ended up doing a top 10. So in my best, and this is going out to the people that know who I'm talking about, the best DJ Fluff Freeman. All for charity. All for charity. I'm going to be just doing a quick top 10. This top 10 is about the top 10 craziest and the most outrageous Halloween outfits that have been purchased according to records online.
I've got one that beats it all, but I'll let you do top 10.
No. I'll tell you what, Mark.
It might be in the top 10.
I can guarantee you will not give me anything on my top 10.
All right, but it is worth the R factor. There's a little lad in America, and I can't remember whereabouts it is, but it is North America, and I think he's got cerebral palsy, and every year his mum and dad do his wheelchair and himself as a Halloween costume. Like he's been in a TIE fighter.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I've seen the little lad.
Have you seen this?
And I've seen videos, and during my collection of doing this top 10, I've looked at lists that shouldn't be out online, like top 10 of the most outrageous, politically incorrect costumes for Halloween. But what I'm going to look at is the top 10 craziest, most outrageous outfits according to a group that has looked at this and looked at people purchasing. So this is on numbers. People that have ordered it, purchased it for 2019. This is going to be crazy. So pull up your britches, sit yourself down, pour yourself a drink, and listen to this weird and wonderful, because some of these costumes, you're just going to go, what the bleep, 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 bleep. So, number 10, most purchased, we're not talking about looked at, we're talking people buying the costume, is the film outfit, the amazing costume of Chucky. So we're talking Chucky doll, you're talking the dungarees, the hair, the mask, the things. That's number 10. So you're thinking, okay, that's fair enough. But then you go to number 9. This is a very, very strange one. And we have President Trump. So we're talking funny hair, we're talking weird and wonderful weirdness. And I wish that I could be doing this with music in the background like it was 1960s, me doing the top 10, but you're going to have to listen to my dulcet tones. And then number 8. So this is numbers that have been bought in 2019. And the next one just absolutely threw me. And that was Deer in the Headlines couple costume, which is basically a squashed deer, and the couple, whether it's male or female, wears a robe. Yes, you're talking right. So you've got a squashed deer, or whatever you want to call, and then a robe. Then coming in at number 7, you know number 7, that comes after number 8 and before number 6. That's
what can I
do my best, Fluff Freeman. Thank you, Mark. Number 7 for the most purchased costumes in 2019 is the Happy Cactus. I had to put just the Happy Cactus, and I'm not going to say much about it, but it is quite phallic.
I can imagine.
Number 6. Going in number 6.
I'm going to look this up right now, live.
Kerry, anybody out there, just Google Halloween costumes, the Happy Cactus. And you can see why I say it's quite phallic. Because of strange things and baubles and wherever they place things. But coming in at 6.
Yes, it's a very happy cactus with his...
very, very happy cactus. If it was any happier, it would be... It would be, yeah, whatever. But coming in at number 6, we have... You knew at some point on the top 10 you would have something to do with aliens, but there's the sexy alien, and the sexy alien is where the alien guy shouts it out. But the sexy alien is bit like Barbarella, bit of a silver outfit, bit of a like push your boots up and stick your backside together and whatever in tinfoil, whatever you want to do. But then.
I got visions of Carl running around at Halloween, absolutely drunk as a skunk, going, I know what to say, running into the kitchen, getting a tin of turkey baker fall out, wrapping his nadgers in it, putting a little bit around his belly and his bum, and then twerking in front of the mirror like Beavis and Butthead, and then video calling us on.
Mark, you might have that in your head. We will get to it, and you can see why I wouldn't have gone sexy alien. Maybe further down the list, I then get drunk and run around.
I'll do it, sod it. If you don't, I will.
But then, coming in number 5, this thing is like shot into number 5. This hasn't been in the top 10. I looked at the top 10 for a few years. This absolutely, obviously just blew my mind. Colonel...
Blew you what?
Blew my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And
just checking.
The outfit that people are buying for Halloween
This is number 5, yeah?
Is Colonel Sanders.
Oh my God. The number 5, ladies and gentlemen.
So you've got the white suit, you've got the little white beard. You look like, in the UK, you look like Captain Birdseye, but in a white suit. But that's coming at number 5. This is down to people buying the outfits, not people that are talking about it. This is physical people that are buying it. So people are thinking, I tell you what, I'm not going to come as Chucky. I'm going to spend my hard-earned money. I'm going to look like Captain Colonel Sanders.
Did he say hard-earned?
But then,
hard-earned money. Okay.
Number 4 is quite popular at the moment because it's trending and everything like that, is the recent film, the animated film, which is Cousin It. So obviously you just get a big Afghan and you wear it with glasses and squeak a lot.
I think if you got a big Afghan and wore it, then A, you'd either have UNICEF on your back or the RSPCA. I'm not sure which.
And I'm sure that I would have Peter outside my door banging on the door. And we'll go on to something else. The next one, obviously another thing, big film that's been out recently, amazing film, and that is The Little Red Balloon and dressed up as Pennywise the Clown. Hiding in your drains, dragging in children, all that scary stuff.
You don't even have to dress up, though. You just have to find your local drain area and just put a red balloon there for thrill factors for Halloween, don't you?
I'm sure you would probably need the makeup, because if you hide in a drain with a red balloon, you would probably get more arrested, Kerry.
Oh,
very, very strange. Just me and my...
I wasn't talking about dressing up and hiding in the drain. I was just thinking about putting the red balloon there, but you know...
Have a range
sorry.
which is
if you go to Halloween and you're thinking about, I'll tell you what, I can't be asked. I'm going to spend 99p down the local balloon shop, the penny shop, and buy some balloons and just have a red balloon hanging up, me standing underneath the ground, dressed as normal. I think you might get arrested. If you dress as Pennywise, people might think, hello, maybe.
Yeah, just maybe don't do that, guys.
Exactly.
Sounds like a good idea, but maybe not.
Yeah. I think the next few are all because of the recent films that are coming out.
Yeah.
Number 2, the costumes that have been built, purchased, we're not talking about thought about, but purchased in 2009 for Halloween, is the Joker. So the purple...
like you say, these are trending films at the moment, aren't they?
They are.
So, yeah.
I think that is what's leading this list. Apart from President Trump and Colonel Sanders, I'm sure people are out there going, I'm listening to President Trump. Right. I tell you what, I'm hungry. Let's go to KFC, so I'm going to dress up as Colonel Sanders. That's why they're in the list. So we've got Joker, purple suit, the mask and everything, whether it's the 60s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, whatever version of the Joker you go for. But the number 1 costume that people are paying.
You've got to do a build-up. Hey, Smashy, come on, it's all for charity, mate. Hey, and the number one costume for this year's Halloween.
Needed the music, so thank you very much, Marty. It's all for charity. But the number 1 coming in straight from nowhere, but coming in at number 1 is Valka the Nun.
Oh.
What?
The Conjuring film, the latest Conjuring film, The Nun. And I know people last year that bought the costume. I knew people that tried to freak me out when I walked into locations.
But there's people in Canvey Island interfere with penguins could get away with that.
Not being funny, though. That's quite an easy costume, right?
Yeah, it's
to make yourself,
makeup.
You know?
Yeah, but I think it's the makeup and the eyes that do it. The makeup that does it. But those are the top 10. These are the people that have gone out and purchased. So there is more people buying Valka, the nun costume, than anything else. But there was some amazing, and I will just put this announcement out. These next 5 that I am going to say has no views, comments against the network. These are not the network's belief. These are not anything to do. But these 5 items were named while I was doing the research as possible costumes.
Go on.
The first one, which was not just under the top 10, was the adult sausage party. So people, as the comedy film, as we're talking films, Party Franca, the basically dressing like a hot dog. That's great. That's just a hot dog, no offence. And like I said, I have to announce this every time I read the next 4 out. It's not the network's views on this. This is just what's been online that I've collated and views there. The number 2 that didn't make the top 10 is the Ku Klux Klan Klansman.
Oh.
Did I just hear that right?
You did indeed.
Was it Black Klansman or the Klan? Are you talking about the film, The Black Klansman, the true story, or are you talking about those idiots in
I don't know what I'm going to wear as Halloween. I'm going to wear a sheet, whatever. But we're going to gloss over that. The third one is just
Go Zookie Boogie! I'm going as an alien!
The third one is just weird. This is a couple's costumes. There's loads of people you can
This
go on.
is kind of like a big, long top 10. I would like to say that. We're like a top 20.
Ladies and gentlemen, top 10. Number 15.
I am trying to run through it very quickly, but I have to do the last 3 because they just threw me out to the wire. Okay, so one of the didn't make the top 10 is couples costumes. So people dressing up as couples to do with Halloween is Jackie and JFK.
That's just wrong. Some of these are really wrong, aren't they, in so many ways?
I know. That's why I said these are not the views of the network. These are not the views of the presenters. This is off an official site that looks at this. Number 4, which is number 2 out of this, is O.J. Simpson. Don't know why. But the costume I saw...
Does that mean that your partner has to dress up as a 4-wheel drive and run down the motorway very fast?
No, this costume was basically a black outfit, leather black outfit, with gloves that didn't fit. And the weirdest one, which completely blew my mind when I looked at it, was there are people out there buying this costumes, is Richard Branson.
What?
Yes, exactly.
I love Richard Branson. You leave my Richard alone.
The phone. This is the Dark Mirror show. You cannot have a Richard Branson costume purely because there's no holes to put your arms or head through.
I'm just saying the one that should make the list.
Oh my
reference.
God. I think this has gone far enough. I mean, they brought Richard Branson into the room. I mean, there's nothing wrong with my Richard Branson. You leave my Richard Branson alone. I love him.
Why would you dress up? No, but why would you dress up as Trump?
Some of these.
I mean, if you want to dress up as Trump for Halloween, get some yellow nylon, stick it on your head, inflate your ego 100-fold, and there you go. Or just pretend you're Boris Johnson and go, bloody elephant guns. And there you go, you're done.
Wow is all I can say. Oh, well, this Halloween is a bad Halloween for me. Or is it a good Halloween for me? Because, lovely, baby. Right, so... This year, my kids are too old to go trick-or-treating, so they're doing their own kind of thing with their mates now. And I can get back to doing what I used to do for Halloween. I can get back to my ritual work and, that sort of thing that I used to do. And so this year is like a step back in time for what I used to do pre-children. So I'm actually coming out of like the costume phase and whatnot, and actually being able to re-embrace Halloween for my pagan roots, my inner spiritualist roots. So it's a evolution, a change, isn't it? But some of those costumes you spoke about are clearly inappropriate for the children thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, but when I was doing the list, I was going through it, I was like, okay, fair enough. Chucky, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, something you can understand, but some of them are just clearly inappropriate.
This costume sort of like, just sort of felt, and then you suddenly got to the ones like Donald Trump. Fair enough, scary, present, horrible. But then you got to like the...
Does the Trump costume have a big red button?
To this day, I don't understand how Richard Branson costume, which by what I could see, what you can see is just a bloke in a suit with a fake beard holding something, but people have gone out and bought that, but it didn't make the top 10.
Would the follow-on to the Richard Branson costume be Richard Branson? I know he's older than me, but Richard Branson when he's 90, would the follow-on costume be Colonel Sanders?
No, because Colonel Sanders made the list, and Colonel Sanders was number 5. So there's people already buying it already. Richard Branson, I don't know why Richard Branson was the 11th most purchased costume in 2019. That's what freaked me out. That's what absolutely freaked me out.
And actually,
we have the top 10, and then we had the 5 other costumes in order. So 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. But some of them are weird. Like, why would you want to come as a couple as Jackie and JFK?
Ridiculous.
Oh, that's just wrong. That's just
wrong.
What did you stick out a beef burger?
Whatever you're going as this year for Halloween, hopefully you'll keep it appropriate for Halloween and not some of these that we've read out live on air tonight. Some of them I just feel take it too far and just a little inappropriate is all I'm saying. Right, let's move on. Now, one other article I found this week, I say trending, I found it, so whether or not it's trending or not, I don't know, but it's on the collective, collective evolution site, and it's about basically, we've talked about this briefly before, we've touched on this one, I wanted to explore this topic in a little bit more detail, is this false flag thing that's going on about they're supposed to be doing an alien invasion. Now, you can't deny the ufology world has taken a huge explosion in interest in more recent years, although a lot of the cases go back to the UFO flap of the 1970s. So why do we think this is? Are we ready as are humans ready for it? Or is this all just conspiracy and whatnot? Is the question on the table? Yes, now you can. I've finished speaking now.
Thank you! Right. Well, what else can I say?
And he doesn't
right, what I was going to say. The false flag thing, apparently the government are going to do it. The American government are going to do it because there's all this, you've got Bible Belt in America and this, that, and the other. They reckon that the religious people, and I'm not going to say religious nuts or anything like that, but the spiritual people, the religious people, aren't ready for it. And I say rubbish. They think that if they announce that there are aliens, it would destroy religion as we know it and this, that, and the other. Why would it destroy religion? Because thousands of years ago, somebody with very vast knowledge and technologically advanced to us appeared and said, I am your God. And we went, yeah, all right, mate. And they moved things, and then they went to various different countries and appeared in things that they'd recognise. Why now would we suddenly go, oh no, you can't have people from other planets or other places out there in the cosmos with superior knowledge and technology to us appear and just go, oh, we're aliens? Why on earth would we as a species go, no, that can't be possible? Why would we freak out? We wouldn't. I think nowadays we are prepared for it. It's mainstream. You've got all the naysayers, you've got all the conspiracy theories, and you've got all the rational people like us, And I think a lot more. I think a lot more of us are open-minded, and I think you'll find out a lot of religious people, even the Pope, the Pope we've got now, and I think he's a smashing guy. Even he's turned around and said, "There's God, but there's aliens. Just because there's a God for this particular world or cosmos, why can't there be for other planets? Exactly the same as we have here, but on other planets." And he's right. So why shouldn't religion or the Bible Belt or other places be ready for this? I think, yes, go for it. But don't do false flag. Just tell the truth.
Yeah, but I think, to be truthfully honest, me on the recent trip to Las Vegas, and when I went out there to basically experience Area 51. And me and Mark and Kerry, we've discussed this. You know how much I'm a big Area 51.
Yeah.
But when you get out there and you realise where you are, how vast this location is.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, the questions you had about stuff sort of slip out of your mind. And then you go to somewhere like the Alien Research Centre and the famous place that just before you get to Area 51, before you get to the trans, whatever,
that was a good watch
or whatever, which we couldn't park anywhere near because there was so many tourists hanging out sticking stickers on. But we went to the Alien Research Centre, and the weird and wonderful stuff that they will sell tourists to it. And we're not just talking like the shot glasses. We're not just talking like the hats. We're not just talking about this stuff. We're talking weird and wonderful stuff.
So
and
worse than me.
I must admit, when I got in the car, and I'm a big Area 51 buff, and I'm like, okay. And luckily I had the chance to do what I did and go where I went and experience the gate and all this sort of stuff. But when you sit back, when I sat back in the hotel, 7.5, 8 hours later, all that way into the desert, and I'm just thinking, I can understand why people would ridicule Area 51. Or think this, that, and the other, because the stuff, the whole setup of it, the black mailbox that isn't a black mailbox because people could keep on nicking it, and this, that, and the other. And at the end of the day, the black mailbox was for the ranch that owned the land next to the road. But people thought it was Area 51, so they nicked it, put stuff on it, and whatever. But it's kind of weird. And I went up to the front gate. I experienced the front gate and all this sort of stuff. And me being a big...
Did they come out and say, sir, I must ask you to leave?
No. You didn't see anybody. And the strangest thing was, on the way back, we stopped at a petrol station, 4 hours away from where we were, a white Ford Ranger, no number plates, a guy getting out in camo, filling up, and we're parked next to him, and I'm talking, and I'm having a chat. I've got out of the car to have a little stretch my legs. He's talking to me, and I'm just thinking, you're a camo dude.
Yeah.
You're a camo dude, and you live obviously away from wherever you live, because he had the overalls, he had the patches, and he wasn't because obviously you go online, you see these videos, and the camo dudes like hide their faces. This guy was happy to talk to me.
He wasn't shy. He was just like, yeah,
exactly. And you just think,
so jealous.
Wow. So when you get up to that particular area, is the hullabaloo and everything like that more crazy what happens online until you actually physically, like I did, get up to that location? I don't know.
It must be the closer you get.
I would just like to say, just quickly, 27th of October, Sunday, UK Haunted Live. That's all I'm going to say.
Another sneaky spoiler. So do we think, right, because there's a huge difference between a commercialisation of an idea and reality. If there was disclosure, if there was, there are aliens, they've come and they've visited, or they're here, this is an alien, do you think that the mental mindset jump between a commercial gimmick, which, to be fair, there's a hell of a lot of that in the ufology world, we've just outlined that.
No, there is.
To actually face-to-face with one, there's a huge mental mindset jump, and I don't think that the human race is ready for that.
I think if the US government announced that Area 51 was where they took alien wreckage from Roswell
if they told the truth?
As the whole of the truth says, whatever you want to say it, they took it, they experimented, they used their technology to produce aircraft, which is that was currently or is currently flying for the US military, such as the Blackbird, such as the stealth bomber, and this that, and the other. I think people just sit there and go, I thought I was right. Like knocking Mavis next to him, going, I told you. But because of this whole thing that the US does, with this whole disclaimer act and everything like that you can only see it after so many years, like the Kennedy assassination, the moon landing. In the next 15, 20 years, these records become public knowledge. And I think more and more of these whole conspiracy ideas, which I am the biggest fan ever, will become more and more clear. You might find out something about the Kennedy assassination, or you might find something about the moon landing, or you might find out something about Roswell. You might find out something, etc., because over the years they'll release it. But there's going to be a lot of the stuff that's going to be redacted. But I think you're going to learn a lot more, and people are just going to sit there and go, I'm not crazy, or I am crazy, or I'm like a weirdo, whatever.
I think we're ready.
Sorry, I don't. Even if they released it, because conspiracy mindset is so prevalent now in our society, people would just say it's another conspiracy theory. They would say, in fact, it would flip it, and they would say, oh, hang on, now they're admitting it because there's something more that they're hiding. Do you know what I mean?
Kerry, that's what people have been saying for years about the Disclosure Act, about the dripped information that people have been getting because of the Disclosure Act.
It's spot on there. What I was going to say is I actually think that the majority of us are ready and really want it to happen. I do think you're going to have certain parts of society who it's going to throw them. But the population of the world as a whole, I think it is if not ready for it, is willing to accept it, or is willing to go, yeah, okay, I can see that, I don't think we're back in the bayou. I don't think we're back in the mud. I think it's literally there's going to be certain sects who are going to be like, nope, this can't possibly be real. But I think the majority of us as a whole are just like, for God's sake, come on, we all know what's going on. Just admit it. And I do think that you're right on the drip feed. You're right on the, it's another false flag, it's this, that, and the other. But I do think if all the governments came together and went on TV as a national thing, and it was worldwide, and they all said, this is going on, this, and this, it might make people go, do you know what? Yeah. I do think majority of us are ready for it.
Or is it just a Western mindset that's going on? Because there's a whole big wide world out there that aren't privy. Hold on. There's a whole big wide world out there that are not privy to the information that we get, haven't got internet, don't read newspapers and that. There's a whole big wide world out there. Thousands and billions of people out there don't have the access to the information and stuff that you lot have in the Western viewpoint. It's a very Western viewpoint. It's very privileged society perspective.
Absolutely.
The majority of the Nordic...
At a country like North Korea, they've won every single World Cup that's ever happened since 19 whatever. They don't know what's going on in the real world because their media is controlled by the government.
May I just say that the majority of the Nordic... This is just an example. The majority of the Nordic Scandinavian type aliens started in China, in certain hills in China, and there's certain Chinese people still to this day that have blonde hair, and they've come from that and originate from that. And it's written in their discs and everything. So,
but again, that's a small part of that society. That's a small part of that society, Mark. You can't deny that. Small part.
You've got countries. You've got like North Korea, a major big country that is producing all these weird and wonderful things like these missiles and this, and you can see it on the news daily. And these guys are controlled media. where the government gives them the information. Like they say, the North Korean football team have won the World Cup every single year.
This is very true.
They don't know what's going on, and when they come into the Western world, that's why you don't get many people leaving North Korea unless they're smuggled out or whatever. Then they come over to this side, and then all of a sudden they go, "You're telling me we're not the major race? We've not won every sporting event. We've not won this. We've not won that." Because that's what they've been drip fed every single day.
Mark?
And on top of that, you've also got certain. Remember, we've spoken about it in previous shows when we've talked about constellations and where they come from and this, that, and the other. And you've also got places in various countries and backwater places in those countries, tribes and this, that, ranging from South America to Africa to Bhutan and this, that, and the other, who through word of mouth and passing it down through the through the ages can tell you where their ancestors came from, can pinpoint it on the star chart and tell you exactly where they came from.
Yeah,
and these people are all like, yes, we know they come from there. That's why.
That is very...
No, it still comes into the world population.
I can completely agree, but that's different from being fed false information because that's all you get. Like North Korea, like I just said, North Korea is a country that is fed false information that has got nothing to do with the world. So you are learned, you're brought up with it, you're young. You are literally brought up on false information. This country does false information.
No, it does, and I totally agree with that.
Whether you're in Africa or whether you're in North America, South America, wherever, where you have got an open media, wherever, but you're taught your ancestors' history is different to where you are somebody that has been told, my football team has won every single World Cup for the last 20 years.
I still think the majority of the world is like, yeah, come on, let's do it.
Yeah, okay. That's what the Dark Mirror show.
Yeah, exploring concepts.
We have different opinions, and that's where the Dark Mirror show is.
It's like American Horror Story. We all know Kerry was in the last series, but she's there going, nope, wasn't me, and rolls her eyes.
Certainly do wrong.
And all I'm going to say, the last thing I'm going to say on tonight's show, coming up to
go on, give it another one.
27th of October. Just see the future's orange and see what happens. We're going to break ground and see what happens. You might see a familiar face. That's all.
You never know. And that's another sneaky spoiler. Everybody love a sneaky spoiler on the Dark Mirror Show. Right, well, that kind of concludes us tonight for the Dark Mirror Show. You have had an eclectic mix of topics for you to ruminate over and get your brain around. Whatever you're doing for Halloween, please don't choose the cactus costume. And on that note, everybody, I will join you live on the Monday feed to give you your weekly roundup of shows. If you miss any other shows, head over onto YouTube. Don't forget to click like, share and subscribe. And on that note, say goodnight, guys.
Good night, everybody, and get the alien costume for Halloween. There you go.
And good night from me, and I will just say, don't go for the happy cactus. Don't go for number 10, number 6. Go for somewhere in between, which is more politically correct. And I would just like, thank you, guys. 27th of October.
That goes a happy
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.